What up? This is Coach Liebs, and welcome to episode 46 of Coach Talk. Sorry I missed you guys yesterday. It's Wednesday morning right now, November 14th, and I wasn't able to record a Coach Talk episode yesterday. We are just swamped here, and I've been super busy. Obviously, this is nut-cutting time, as I've said many times before since the playoffs have started, but everything is on the line this week, so the sense of urgency, throughout the entire Don Bosco program has really increased this week. I mean, as it would in any program. We're in a state semifinal game. We're playing, in a game to win, and then we're playing for a championship, for the right to go to the state championship game in MetLife Stadium. Obviously the stakes are high. Then you combine that with the fact that we're playing Bergen Catholic. It's our biggest rival, and there are seniors on this team who lost to Bergen Catholic by 1 point in week 4. And now have another opportunity to play them, get some revenge, and this is the last time they'll ever have an opportunity to play this team. The game just means that much more. So us as coaches, we're doing everything we possibly can to make sure that we're putting our kids in positions to be successful, to make sure that we've watched every second of film. We feel like we have the best possible beat on this team in terms of what they're going to do defensively, what the looks are that we're expecting, what are the adjustments that they can make, and what plays do we like versus this. And we've spent extra time kind of devising some new plays that we've schemed up against them that we think will work, but also perfecting old plays and just making sure that we've covered all of our bases. Then making sure that as players, we're encouraging them to spend extra time after practice to recover and stretch and make sure their bodies are right, spend more time before practice watching film, going through the game plan, going over the call sheet with them, just doing everything we can so that we don't leave that field Saturday with any regrets. And making sure that we're giving these seniors an opportunity to really fulfill their dream. I don't think there could be a better way of ending a senior season than beating your biggest rival to go to a state championship game. I think that would be a dream come true for so many guys, and that's what we as coaches do this for. At least for me, I coach football because I'm addicted to the feeling of being a catalyst in a kid's life and someone that can influence their life and help these kids grow as men and take one step closer to their dreams. And I think that this win would be probably the most unforgettable experience of all these kids' high school careers. So we understand how much it means to the kids. It means the world to us as coaches as well. So we've just been doing everything we possibly can from a coach's perspective to put our kids in a position to win, make sure we have the best plan possible, and that we're doing everything we can. So it's all hands on deck. I've been in the office till 10:30, 11 o'clock every night, whether it's game planning. Yesterday I was working on the hype video we're going to show the kids Saturday morning, which we did that kind of for the first time before our first playoff game against Del Barton, and the kids loved it. So, making another one this week that, those things, all those little things, like, is a hype video going to win us the game? No, but if it, maybe switches two kids' mindsets to being a little bit more focused before the game, that could make all the difference. Like who knows where that small difference is going to be? This is a game that was decided by 1 point that I think the last 8 meetings of Bosco Bergen have been decided by less than 7 points every single game. So we know this is going to be a dogfight, so we better feel good about what we've done to prepare, and that way, and then the result will take care of itself. We're going to make plays, they're going to make plays, and we just got to be more disciplined, more focused, and out-tough them for 48 minutes, and we'll be playing in MetLife. And that's kind of the mentality. What I want to talk, so for the Coach Talk plan, it's 9:30 right now in the morning. I'm going to record one this morning, and this will make up for the one we missed yesterday, and then I'm going to record another Coach Talk, most likely with a special guest, tonight down at Bosco. So you guys will get 2 episodes of Coach Talk today, and then we'll be caught up, and always try to get 5 out a week for you guys, and we'll kind of stay on that rhythm. The topic for today that I really want to address, I've had a million, probably the most frequent question I've had the last 2 or 3 weeks is what are my go-to wide receiver drills each day? And I kind of just want to take you guys through the daily routine for me as a receivers coach and for us as receivers. Go-to drills are kind of different in season versus out of season. I'm going to talk about in season right now. But the must-haves that we have, firstly, starting with the meetings, to go through our whole routine, I always try to give the kids some sort of message, a theme for the day that they can kind of hang their hat on during the ups and downs of practice. So maybe it's, hey, this has got to be a complete team effort. We just came off a game against Del Barton where we only threw the ball 6 times. We were 4 for 6, and one kid caught all 4 passes and scored 3 touchdowns. So as a receiver group, I understand that it's easy to kind of feel a little disconnected, feel like you're not helping the team as much as you would like to, because, obviously we're here to catch the ball and make plays, and it wasn't a game where we did that. So kind of my message for this week has been like, listen, fellas, put all that stuff aside. This is the biggest game of all of our lives. Don't allow any selfish thoughts to creep into your mind this week, because we can't afford them. I don't care if the game plan is to hand the ball off 75 times and we have to block our butts off 75 times in the game. We don't catch a single pass. Whatever we have to do to win this game, whether it involves you being the hero or you being, the 11th role player on the field, you will be grateful for the fact that you were unselfish this week when we win this game and are playing for a state championship. It will all be worth it. All the sacrifices you have to make, all the egos you have to put aside will be worth it. And I try to kind of create a different message each day so that, when times are going badly, there's something I just hit them with in the meeting. They can kind of run through their mind and get them out of any ruts, get them, these kids are emotional, 18-year-old kids, 17, 16-year-old kids. The ups and downs are unbelievable during the course of a day. So I try to give them something that can provide some more consistency in their emotions and their focus throughout the day. In terms of the drills, once we get out there, we start every practice with duck walks, where if you don't know, go to my Instagram page, look at the story highlights. You'll see all the examples of duck walks and why it's so important in your hip mobility, your flexibility. It really, helps you in releases and making guys miss. So we start every day with duck walks and stance and start, because I'm never going to spend any indie time or practice time, teaching stance and start again after it's already been installed, the first day I got here. So those are things, though, that you can't take for granted. You can't just not do stance and start. All of a sudden now you have issues where you're false stepping off the line and those kind of things. We can't have those problems. So duck walks, stance and starts, and then releases on air where, they're not going against a corner, but I just want them to kind of be creative in their thought process, and using different plans, different releases, so that they're kind of going through the motions of something that then they'll take into one-on-ones and take into team periods. But I want them to go through that on air, press releases before practice starts every single day. And then that's kind of like the three main things we do before practice: duck walk, stance and start, releases. And then at some point during practice, we get ball drills in, no matter what, whether it's stationary ball drills, whether it's like some sort of drill where all we're doing is focus on catching the ball on the move. And we'll get those in during like special teams periods, like PAT field goal, when none of the receivers are involved, or defensive walkthroughs. We only have one kid that plays both ways. Whatever time we can find during practice, where we have an extra 5 minutes, extra 10 minutes, we'll get a bunch of ball drills in. But it's not something I will ever spend my indie period on. It's just the extra time we can steal. If we don't find time during practice, we'll get extra ball drills in after practice. Now, indie, for me, in my individual periods, I don't have any generic drills. Every second I spend during my indie periods is I'm focused on something that has to do with the opponent or the game plan. So either, let's say we're going to see a bunch of press coverage with a guy who's really physical with his hands. Well, all week in Indy, we're going to work on hand combat. We're going to work on wipers. We're going to work on our different press release techniques, because that's going to be a key to us winning this game. And it's something that is particular to that team. Or on the other side, maybe we've installed, 2 or 3 new pass plays, and there's a new route we have to work on. So we're going to rep the hell out of that route during indie period, so that we get the accumulated reps throughout the week and it becomes second nature by the time the game comes. Or maybe there's just, an aspect in our game that we're deficient in as a group, or maybe, a couple particular players, and I'll hammer that fundamental in. For example, in the run game, our flat lead, which means flat leading means, like, let's say you're an outside receiver, you want to block a cover 4 safety who's coming into the box. To go get him, you have to run super flat down the line, because he's coming hard down the line. If you take too high of an angle, he's going to undercut you. You won't be able to get there. You'll block him in the back. Well, the last 2 weeks, I've been hammering home flat leading, flat lead through the heels of the defensive end, run to get even with the safety, and then climb to go get him. Really been emphasizing that the last 2 weeks, and then we've become great at it. We did a great job of that against Del Barton and sprung a ton of big runs because of it. And those, it might be that I think our tight breaks stink on curls and comebacks, so we're going to hammer tight breaks. But my indie period is always very specific to what our needs are as receivers, what's in the game plan that's new that we have to address, or what is different about this opponent. Maybe they're really handsy. Maybe they play a coverage we haven't seen. And we have to just, spend the indie time to get accumulated reps, so that, whether it's a new look or a new route, becomes second nature by the time Saturday hits. And then we end every single day stretching, taking care of our bodies, no matter what, making sure that, we're in tip-top shape. Because if your body fails, in the crucial moments, none of your skills, none of your training will matter. That's all I got. Coach Talk episode number 46. This is Coach Liebs. I'll see you guys tonight for another episode. Peace.